gon' get on the track.
Welcome to Convinced and Confident. My name is Sarah Gilmore, and my co-host is Tamara Bluedorn. And each week we bring to you an inspiring message or person that will help you on your journey to self-discovery. A sign of wisdom and maturity is when you come to terms with the realization that your decisions cause your rewards and your decisions cause your consequences. You are responsible for your life, and you are responsible for your ultimate success. Your ultimate success depends on the choices you make. Dennis Waitley. That brings us to our topic today, how to get from where you are to where you want to be. I repeat, how to get from where you are to where you want to be. I say we begin with accepting responsibility. What do you think of that, Tamara?
I would agree. I think everything is on you. You are the pilot of your life?
Oh, yes.
So 100% responsibility means it's all me. It's all you. No one else.
No one else. There's an old poem that says, I am the captain of my fate. Right?
Yes.
You're
absolutely.
responsible. Most of the time, though, we blame everybody else for what has happened in our life. We come to feel that everybody owes us something. The government owes me something. My children owe me something. The job owes me something. I've had employees that say to me, now listen, Mrs. Gilmore, if you could pay me more, I could pay my bills. Well, now, how is that relevant to me? I didn't make your bills, you did. Accepting 100% responsibility for your bills is what you need to do to begin with.
So why do you think we blame? What do you think?
Oh, because it's so much easier, I believe, to see everybody else's faults. I can tell you exactly what you're doing wrong and what you need to do. But guess what? It's much more difficult for me to see my own. It hurts for me to say, yes, it causes a certain kind of pain once I see my own faults and what I need to do. Because once I see it, now I've got to figure out what?
What am I do about it?
What am I going to do about it? So that's tough when it comes to that. I look at it at my age, a lot of us, and I don't, but many people my age live on a fixed income. Guess what? You fixed it. Nobody else fixed it but you. And that's the problem. You fixed it. You're responsible for your success as well as your failures.
Now, one other thing I wanted to say about blaming, I believe is also, and you said it just wasn't as direct as I was going to say it. It's a protection.
Who are you protecting, though?
We're protecting ourselves.
Protecting ourselves from what?
From being seen.
From being, you're
That's
exactly.
what I would say.
So we aren't being our true selves, is what you're actually saying?
I would think so.
Exactly. But what's amazing to me is what people blame others for. We all blame others for certain things. We believe that somebody owes us happiness. We believe that. But I'm talking about employees. Yeah. I had one to tell me in a meeting recently, listen, I cannot come to work when it's raining because I don't have good tires. My tires are bald. I absolutely couldn't believe that. I'd heard a lot of excuses before, but I absolutely had never, ever heard that. And we could not explain why that is irrational, why that doesn't make sense.
They could not figure out why that was
Could never blame himself for having bald tires. You've been working every week. You've been driving a car. What is it you've done that your tires are always bald, that you can't come to work when it's raining? That did not make sense. But we do that all the time. It's so much easier to see everybody else's fault, but not my fault. I didn't do it.
And you don't have to look at the entire picture.
Exactly.
You can have a narrow focus.
Exactly. That's actually
it's you or something else besides the whole thing. Even if someone else has some part blamed.
Yes.
in something that occurs,
Yes.
you still, when you just blame someone else, it gives you a narrow focus.
It's your life.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have the ultimate responsibility for it. Remember when we were learning, I think it was called conjugation in English, it became I am, you are, he, she, or it is. I am responsible. You are responsible. He, she, or it is responsible for your life. Only person that we can blame is you. That's the only thing. So what we have to do, Tamara, is, I believe, begin by accepting 100% responsibility. Remember that old church song, 99 and a half just won't do. In this instance,
I don't remember that one.
You're different generation. But think about it. 99 and a half really won't do. You have to say, it is I. Okay. I did it. I am responsible. I create my own failure, but I also can create my own success. Once you start admitting it, you get unstuck. As we say sometimes, we're stuck on stupid. You get unstuck and you can move forward a little bit. Lay it all out. Talk to yourself about it. I am responsible. I can do this. Accept that responsibility. Know that you can create some success. You can make the change in your life if that's what you want. When you blame others, think about it. When I blame you for something, I'm giving you power over my life. I really don't want anybody to have power over my life.
It does give someone else the power over everything.
I don't want anybody else to have that. It's my dream, not your dream. So that's why I have to be responsible for it. I thought many years ago when I wanted to start a business, well, I'm not from a family that had money that they could just give you to start a business, or I couldn't get a loan to just start a business like that. But what I did, I had to accept, okay, it's my responsibility. It's my dream if I want to do it. So what I did, I had to start where I was. I started a maid janitorial service, something very small. I cleaned a few houses. I cleaned a few small offices. Then what I did, I was able to save up enough money so that I was able to buy a house. In that house, I started one group home. What I did to start the second group home, I moved my children and my husband. We all moved out into a small 2-bedroom unit. Now, there were 3 children and a husband and a wife, but we moved into a small unit. Then I was able to turn the house that I lived in into a second group home. Start where you are. Take responsibility, and you can stop blaming others and do what you need to do for your own life. What do you think of that, T?
I believe you did. You figured out a way. And I think we get caught up in our circumstances and not, I would say, I think we get stressed into circumstances.
Yes, we do.
And give up.
Yes, we do.
Instead of relaxing, think about it. And then when you release that, you figure out different ways in order to get to where you want to be.
You know what they say, one of the hardest things in life is thinking. Yeah, so sometimes we've ended up in our positions because we didn't think. It was just too hard. And if you don't think, it'll be figured out for you and you'll end up in bad circumstances.
When you make more conscious decisions.
Exactly. Well, I thought about it. I am a senior citizen. I'm actually retirement age, but I have not retired. And I was looking at it the other day. I like most of you, I get the AARP magazine. And that magazine, let me read to you what it says. It says, research shows that 50% of retirees over 65 who live alone cannot afford to pay for basic necessities. Now, what would basic necessities be, Tamara? You mean basic food?
Yeah.
Electric bill?
And I would put just your medications you need.
Exactly. That is definitely a necessity. They cannot pay for that. And it says that the problem is going to get worse in the next few years, because what happens is many retirees don't have a pension like we used to in the old day, are depending totally on Social Security. And it's not enough to take care of the basic necessities. Well, I look at it and say, okay, we've gotten into this position. Let's take some action. That would be number 2 for me. Okay. First, accept responsibility. We did it. Number 2, Take some action. If you're not sick and able to work a few years longer than you would have worked before. Try to get a part-time job. What else can they do, Tamara?
Be creative.
There you go.
And you have a hobby or skill or
There you
something
go.
that where you can earn some income.
Sell
And we're in
something.
the world of online now, so anybody can earn income.
Anybody can earn income. If you're a good cook, you can cook, make a few cakes and pies like my husband has done before. There are things that you can do. Ask somebody for a part-time job. Work 2 or 3 days a week. There's nothing wrong with that. But we have to stop blaming others. My old Social Security check isn't enough. You're right. I'm on a fixed income. You fixed it. We have to take some action. That's number 2. Get up and do something about it because it's not going to get better. Don't be embarrassed if you've retired before. A lot of people, I think, are embarrassed. I've retired. I don't have to work. Well, if you can't pay for your medication and your food, you might need to work. You don't have to if you don't want to, but you need to.
And I would think for someone, let's say I'm in my 40s, 30s, and up, it's okay to make a life change, a career change.
Yes, it
or
is.
take on something extra. A lot of times, especially if we become, and I don't want to sound judgmental,
Yes,
a professional and think we've into what our career of what
That's
we want
right.
it to be. But
That's right.
you know, oftentimes these careers don't pay
like we want them
like
to.
we want them to.
Exactly.
It's okay to change. It's okay to take something else on.
Exactly.
Is it a part-time something or create something to sell?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
We have been led to believe that, okay, I'm a school teacher, I'm a this, I'm a
Yes, we
that.
have been.
That's great. You've done a wonderful job in getting your education and becoming that. But if it's not producing the money that you need to pay your basic necessities and survive as you need to, there is no shame in the game of taking on something else that will help you get out of the debt you need to get out of and do what you need to do. There's no shame in that. I talk to people all the time who say, oh my goodness, I hate my job. I hate my job. Why do you hate your job? Well, they don't pay me enough. I have to work weekends. It takes me an hour to get to work. And I say, oh, okay. So what do you plan to do about it? Are you just going to stay there and hate your job the rest of your life? Or what do you plan to do about it?
Many people stay there instead of making a different decision.
Exactly.
I think it's easy to stay and complain. And there we go again.
Complaining
and
blame. Exactly.
Yes.
It goes back to that each and every time. We live in a world, I hate to say it, but I do say it all the time. Things have changed.
Oh, yes.
The kinds of jobs we had at one time, they've changed. Artificial intelligence, from what I'm reading, is going to soon be taking over a lot of jobs.
And we live in a world where we blame everyone.
Oh my
I just get
goodness.
tired of it because I don't think everybody's responsible.
Tell me what
for
you mean
me.
we blame everyone.
Oh, first, you better guard your words or you've offended someone.
You can't say
Yes,
that.
you've offended someone.
Exactly.
We're very quick to judge and beat someone else up.
Aren't we
over it.
too easily offended?
Oh, absolutely.
And we're not, if we are emotionally stable and emotionally intelligent, we should not be so easily offended, should we?
Absolutely. We should not be.
But
should
we
not be.
are. The least thing you say, oh my goodness, you're in trouble for saying that. We need to make some changes. And that's what it is.
Also, I believe we need to quit making excuses as
Oh
a
my
part of
goodness.
taking 100% responsibility.
That's part of it,
Yes.
isn't it?
Because I think sometimes the excuses we use it to hide our laziness.
Yeah. Oh, did you say the word
Yeah,
laziness?
because we can be lazy.
Do you think we as Americans have gotten lazy?
Oh, absolutely.
Why do you think that has happened?
I think we're all spoiled.
And we've had it
And-
easy.
I mean, we've just had it easy. If you ever leave the country or
Yes.
go somewhere else,
Yes.
you see people hustling and figuring it out every day to have so much less and a government that has no security blanket
That's
for them
exactly.
in any way. So you and your family have to figure it
You
out.
figure it out. We have been to a couple of other countries. We usually go during the Christmas holidays. And I remember one, I can't even remember where I was. These children had to be no older than 6 or 7, The little kids were selling jewelry that they had made and little tiny products that they had made. Now, the parents were standing back watching. They were guarding over them, but the kids were selling it, which is a smart idea because surely I'm going to buy from a child, and most of us will. But they were being taught early, learn to take care of your needs. That's what I saw. Learn to take care of your needs. If you go have a chance to go to other countries or even meet people who are from other countries, you will find that they hustle.
Different work ethic.
Yes.
Than Americans have.
Yes.
I feel.
I feel, that's what I've experienced. They hustle more. I found we don't want to, oh Lord, the job wants me to learn how to use that computer. Every time I learn something, they change it. If you want to learn to live like you want to live, then you will learn something new. Start learning something new. Read a different book from what you've been reading before. You may have to change some of your friends that you've had.
Absolutely.
If they aren't progressing, you may have to change, because I'm telling you, I really believe, and I'm a senior citizen, if you don't try to keep up in the world in which we live now, you're going to get left behind. And I don't know how you get up and get moving after you've gotten left behind. Once the bus moves or the train leaves the station, I don't know what you're going to do.
You lose years. And
yes,
you start to not have the same skill level that you had previously.
That's exactly
then you
right.
had to work harder to catch up.
That's right.
Everybody else. I believe stay in a little bit so that at least you're engaged.
At least
know where everything is.
That's right. You're engaged.
Yes.
Listen, the good book tells us we need to change. It says, "Be ye transformed." How, Tamara? By the renewing of your mind. So that's where it's going to start. It starts with your thinking. Renew your mind. Think differently. Stop being negative all the time. I don't like that old job. Find something on the job you do like and do a good job. Actually, we're supposed to do more than we're required to do. That's what we're actually supposed to do on a job. If you plan to succeed in life, if you plan to win, you don't have a choice but to make a change, and a change for the better. That's what you're going to have to do. I'm as guilty as you of some of these things. I will always tell you that. And as I teach you, I become better at what I'm talking about, which is what I'm supposed to do. You thought the thoughts. You took the action, or you didn't take the action. That's why you are where you are. That's why I am where I am. What we have to do, if we want to go from where we are to where we want to be, we've got to make a change. We've got to blame nobody but ourselves.
Only ourselves.
Only ourselves. In the long run, we shape our lives and we shape ourselves. The process never ends until we die. And the choices we make are ultimately our own responsibility. Eleanor Roosevelt.
So the goal is, the objective is to take 100% responsibility for your life.
Yes.
That's our show, and we thank you for listening. If you like our show, Convinced and Confident, please leave us a rating and download us on Apple Podcasts and Google Play.